just third on the list, most allowed by any team in the American Hockey League, and Syracuse right at the top of that list. And well, that's who the Wolfpack had 55 against last night.
Wolfpack doing the right thing now by just trying to get across the red line and put it in. The idea of it, you've got 4 minutes left in this game. You want to keep the puck inside the Quebec end as much as often.
Cross ice. Worked up to the point. Odette just wide of the mark. All the way forward. Fortier in front. Oh, just taken away nicely by Bembridge. Wolfpakc had left it for Francois Fortier. Here's another opportunity. Higgins. Wolfpakc back to Odette. Now Hall in his own zone. Flips it out. Glove down by Fortier. Across the line now. He had to wait for Higgins to get back on side. Now Higgins, the shot bounces over Yeremayev. I thought that was going to make it in. I thought we might have seen a glimpse of the red light there as that puck went by, but didn't make it under the crossbar. Confirmation from Vic Massey. Yes, indeed, the light did go on. I'm not seeing red spots in front of my eyes. Now Bashkirov, right wing side. Henry, put on a break stick. Bashkirov shot and gloved up into the crowd as Yeremayev made the stop, but the puck makes it into the seats. Oh boy, talk about putting on the brakes.
Good skill, skating skills, unbelievable. Burke Henry that time saying, slow down already. Holy mackerel. That's the type of speed that Bashkirov should be using quite often. He possibly wouldn't find himself in this league. But watch a quick cut right there. Keeps it on his forehand, then gets the shot. That's an outstanding play. One-on-one. How do you defend the speed like that, the cutting like that, the skills like that? You just got to sit back and hope this guy misses the net.
A big drive from the point from Descouteau. Benjamin Pintier. Seeing him here tonight. Well, let's get an update from around the AHL. And Providence, well, out in front of Lowell, 3-2 right now. So the Wolfpack need the full 2 points that it looks like they may get here this evening. Terry Virtue has had an assist added to his ledger as he gets the secondary assist on Tuzzolino's second goal of the night. So Terry Virtue with 3 assists here this evening.
Tony Tuzzolino with a Terry Virtue with the Yeremayev show tonight. I think it'd be the 3 stars.
DeWolf shot kicked into the crowd by Yeremayev. Got the stick down and it deflects up into the seats.
Who knows what everybody's thinking about that. We will find out later.
Well, we know our votes, but they mix other people's in with them, Jerry, or we could announce them right now, I think.
Who even knows if they made them downstairs, Joe?
Face off to the right of Yeremayev. Virtue backhands it behind the goal. And Charpentier tries to work it up and out of the zone, but can't quite accomplish the feat. Ribeiro in the corner. He'll take it. It's tied up. Now DeLille. Backhander goes wide. Henry tries to get a glove on it. Now works it up and out of the zone. DeWolf pushes it forward. DeLille across the line. Behind the net. And now Bertrand. Couldn't make it out in front with it. Ribeiro looking to see if he can center all the way through. Here's the shot. Oh, stick down by Smith. Second chance saved by Yeremayev. DeLille tries a third time. And it's deflected wide. I think Ribeiro was the one who actually got a stick on it for the ultimate shot.
You can see what John Paddock is doing out here. This team is up by 3 goals at this point. Derek Armstrong and Brad Smith is still out here. So this time, Joe, I think you put out your 3rd and 4th liners to lead them out. But he knows that these 2 guys have got something to shoot for.
1 minute 12 to play. Into the neutral zone. Jernander back to Bannister. Line change by Quebec. Bannister dumps it in, and the Wolfpack will set up. kill off this final minute, and they will have a 4-1 victory. Jonathan Galil. Oh, banks it off of Toms back across the Quebec line. Robbie up the boards and knocks off the linesman into the bench.
So you get Brad Smith tonight with his 45th goal, shooting for 50. Long ways to go. And then you've got Derek Armstrong with his coming into tonight with 94 points. He gets a point, now has 95. So these two guys, John Paddock knows it should be a big goal for them to try to hit their, their plateau. And John Paddock's not afraid to keep them out there.
Well, Brad Smith needs a goal a game the rest of the way, and he's accomplished that feat here tonight to get 45.
Well, he gets them in bunches, though, Joe. I mean, he gets one tonight. He could very easily get 2 tomorrow and 3 the next night. He's just one of those types of scorers that just any time that puck is inside the blue line, he has the ability to just sniff out a goal, keep the stick down, and put it in the net.
You can see it's been a while since somebody got 50 in this league, and it was this guy, Brad Smith, with the Carolina Monarchs. 68, and he did it in 68 games.
That's incredible. 60-minute game, he must have been out there 40 minutes every single night. Foul play, killed penalties, 5-on-5s. If you can put in 68 goals in the net with 68 games, that's a lot of ice time.
Well, you said 2 the next night, maybe 3 the night after. It would be the first Wolfpack hat trick as the pack offside as they come across the line. First Wolfpack hat trick since Johan Vitahall last March against Springfield.
There's a name from the past.
Well, Johan Vitahall in the Montreal system was claimed off of waivers and then was actually put back through waivers to be eligible for Quebec's playoff roster. And not even the Rangers put a claim on him for that one. Well, final 10 seconds to go here as the Wolfpack lead at 4-1. You can hear the cheers from the crowd. Robbie comes out from behind the net. He'll drive at the length of the ice off the boards, and that'll do it. The Hartford Wolfpack, a needed win to snap a 3-game winless slide. Tony Tuzzolino should be the #1 star of the game. He had 2 goals tonight in this 4-1 victory, and Vitaly Yeremaev with 28 saves for the Wolfpack to get the victory. And they now increase to 87 points in the standings. Looks like Providence, if they hold on, will move to 82. As we showed you just moments ago, they lead 3-2 against Lowell tonight in the first half of a home-and-home. And the Wolfpack now with just 5 games remaining before the playoffs as they try and hold on to second place. So Tony Tuzzolino, a pair of goals. Ken Jernander and Brad Smith. Smith is 45th of the season. It all adds up to a 4-1 Hartford win. We're coming back to the Civic Center. Hope you do as well.
When it looks like winter is here to stay, here's something that should warm the cockles of your heart. It's the best minivan ever, the all-new Dodge Grand Caravan. With available all-wheel drive, anti-lock brakes, and the most powerful engine you can get in a minivan, this Caravan can give you an entirely different outlook. Now get up to a $1,000 cash allowance on Dodge Caravans.
Every weeknight, it's Totally NASCAR.
Your exclusive source of NASCAR information.
30 minutes of NASCAR news and highlights that put you in the driver's seat. Totally NASCAR, weeknights at 6 on Fox Sports Net.
Young, who got some good minutes in the first half, hits the jumper. Tiffany Young, a junior from Hillsboro, Alabama, has 4. Young, 17-footer, got it. And Tiffany Young with a sensational performance.
Sports Net. Pound for pound, the best fighters in the world go toe-to-toe. Witness boxing fury from a ringside seat. Sunday Night Fights on Fox Sports Net.
Back at the Hartford Civic Center, where the Wolfpac take care of the Quebec Citadels by a score of 4-1. 40 shots on goal tonight for the Wolfpac after a 55-shot effort by the Pack last night in Syracuse, in which they overcame a 4-0 deficit to earn a 4-4 tie in that game. And tonight, Tony Tuzzolino, the #1 star, he had a pair of goals. Vitaly Arameyev, 28 saves for the win, the #2 star. And Terry Virtue with those 3 assists. He is the 3rd star of the night here at the Civic Center. But all in all, a solid effort by the Wolfpac.
And it wasn't just the Derek Armstrong and Brad Smith show, so you had contribution from other players, and that's exactly what John Paddock needs to have happen to get this team playing, you know, all 4 lines going into the playoffs.
I don't have an envelope with the answer here, but I'm going to ask you to be the amazing Kreskin and see if, in the mind of John Paddock, you think that this was a better effort, after he said that even though they've been getting wins and getting points in the last 20 games, he didn't think they'd played well. Do you think that overall they played well tonight?
Good goalie, good defense, something to build on. Wasn't dominating 60 minutes, but he's going to build on it and try to carry into tomorrow's game in Philly, which is certainly not going to be easy.
Well, let's take a look at the, well, before we take a look at the final stats, we're told that we do have with us now the #1 star tonight, and that is the Wolfpac's Tony Tuzzolino with a pair of goals. Well, all in all, Tony, as we were just saying here, pretty good effort by you guys tonight, especially by you. A nice breakaway goal there at the end to cap things off.
Yeah, it was, you know, sometimes, like I was telling the guys, sometimes you score, sometimes you don't. I got good pass from Terry Virtue on the first one, and then the breakaway was just good play all overall. Nice chip by Ryan Tobler, and then I had a step on the D man, so I like my chances when I have a step. And goalie kind of overplayed a little bit and saw his legs open, and just slid it through.
Well, Tony, how about the fact that now you find yourself, I find that your speed is just, this year has just been incredible, and I'm not sure if you've done anything differently to pick up your speed, or I don't know, exercise or whatever, but this year I noticed you got the jets on.
Yeah, I think it was that middle of the season knee surgery that gave me that extra step. No, I'm just kidding. I really haven't done anything different. I like to keep myself in good shape, but just this year I'm just thinking about working real hard from shift to shift, and I think when my mind's to it, I can get my feet moving, and it helps me a lot out here.
After the last stretch of games, Tony, well, 3, we mentioned before the game, winless in 3. You've had the number of overtime games you've had of late. I guess in comparison, this one pretty straightforward. A solid win, never really pressured too much by Quebec. And then, maybe most importantly out of it all, you only had to play 60 minutes tonight.
Yeah, well, we've been wanting to play a good, solid 60-minute game since since we had 10 games left, and the last couple of we put in a good 40 or a good 20, and this game started off, it looked like it was going to be a track meet for a while, and but we settled it down, and we played a good team game today. We got great goaltending from Vitaly, and when you get things like that, it really helps out your team game and your team confidence.
Tony, it seems like you guys have got a lot of team leaders in this locker room, and I'm not sure if all of them have stepped up just yet. It seems like every given night there's one player that may step up. I mean, how important is it to finally put this, get this team playing everybody, by the time this playoffs comes around?
Oh, I think it's very important because, when the playoffs come around, let's face it, Derek and Brad and guys like that, and, Jeff Toms now, but they're not going to get the room that they're going to need to move around. Granted, they're all just phenomenal players, and they're going to score on some nights, but when they don't, it's going to be our depth that's going to keep us in hockey games and maybe even win us some hockey games. So I think it's good. It's a booster for them when they see guys like me score. Not discrediting myself, but let's face it, I'm not out there to score goals, and when I do, it picks everybody up.
Well, you talked about the solid effort by Vitaly Arameyev, and that's been one question mark down the stretch here, whether Johan Holmqvist or Vitaly Arameyev will step forward and say, hey, I want to be the #1 guy, I want to be the one in the playoffs, and it looked like Vitaly Arameyev made a statement towards that effort tonight.
Well, like I've been telling both of them, I said, hey, it's up to you guys. John's going to give both of you guys a chance to see who's going to be the #1 goalie here, and I'm glad for Vitaly. He stepped up and played, and that's not to say Johan's still not going to get his chance. So hopefully down the stretch here, somebody comes out and says, I'm the #1 goalie, and then then I think we're